Today, we're very fortunate to have Dr. Candice Chu. She is an ACVP board certified veterinary clinical pathologist. She earned her DVM at the National Taiwan University in 2013 and her PhD here with us in veterinary pathobiology in 2018, where she also completed her veterinary clinical pathology residency training in 21. She was the assistant professor of clinical pathology at the University of Pennsylvania from 21 to 23 before we were fortunate enough to recruit her back here. Dr. Chu has a strong research background in microRNA biomarker discovery, bioinformatics, and AI and digital pathology. Her research endeavors and excellent oral poster presentation skills were recognized by the 2000 and 2017 ACVP and 2017 and 2019 ASVCP Young Investigator Awards and the 2020 ASVCP Share the Future Presentation Award. She received the 2021 Davis Thompson Foundation Pathology Trainee and Scholarship Award, demonstrating her superior scholarship, exceptional diagnostic skills, mentorship, leadership, talent, and enthusiasm for teaching, which I think will come out today. She also received the 2020 ACVP Harold W. Casey Scholarship, a prestigious award that each year recognizes one outstanding pathology trainee, anatomical or clinical, who strives to achieve ACVP certification in North America. Besides research, Dr. Chu demonstrates a commitment to teaching veterinary cytology innovatively. In 2018, she founded the popular cytology teaching Instagram page, VetClinPathResident. That's also available on Facebook, YouTube, X, and X. She's also curated the What's Your Diagnosis in Veterinary Clinical Pathology archive, and she had a much-cited mini review that she published in June of 2024 entitled ChatGPT in Veterinary Medicine, a Practical Guidance of Generative Artificial Intelligence in Clinics, Education, and Research. And it's this talk and her, what I would call an accelerated pipeline for using AI in research and writing that I've asked her to talk to us today about, that I think will be a real treat for us. Dr. Chu, thank you very much for coming and talking.
I want to thank Mike for his very kind introduction. And so today I'll be talking about how to streamline academic writing and using practical digital and AI tools for enhanced productivity.
Before diving into the content of the presentation, please note that my article, Banish the PDF-hunting Blues with These AI Digital Tools, has been published in Nature Career Column. By reading through this article, you will be able to understand my ACCU workflow. Start with acquisition, how I find papers, move on to collection, how I store my papers, crystallization, how I organize my thoughts, and utilization, how I write papers. Hope you enjoyed this article. You can find this article by scanning the QR code.
And I think I can skip this slide because Mike just gave me a really nice introduction. But I want to emphasize that I create this Instagram page since I was a resident because I have this passion for teaching. And also I post various videos on my YouTube channel, starting from how to analyze RNA-seq data, and then move to how to design a great slide presentation, key to successful scientific presentations, and also more focusing on the clinical pathology content. And the reason I wanted to do this talk is because since the release of AI, I'm very interested in learn how to use these tools. And I found several videos on the YouTube talking about how to use AI in academic writing. If you search for those keywords, you can find those talks. However, I found these talks have a common weakness, which is many of these productivity KOLs, they do not have productivity other than teaching productivity. They are not faculty members. They don't make a living by writing papers. So I feel like being someone who actually need to make a living by publishing, I will have more insights to share with everybody about which tools that I actually use in my writing. And I published this review paper, ChatGPT in Veterinary Medicine, Practical Guidance of Generative Artificial Intelligence in Clinics, Education, and Research, back in June. And that's why I got invited to do 2 talks at the ACCU Forum. One is the similar talk to today's talk. The other one is focusing on the review article. And both of these talks got overwhelmingly positive comments from the audience. And that's the reason why I feel like I should bring this content back to Texas A&M University to share with everybody. So this talk is for you if you're a graduate student, intern, or residents who need to publish, or you're new faculty members who feel lost in navigating literature, or you're a seasoned researcher who want to boost your productivity. And so in this talk, I will introduce my ACCU workflow, start by acquisition, which means that how you get those papers that you want to read from the database. And then also using the AI tools to enhance the possibility that you find the paper that you want. And also I will talk about how I put all the papers into my collection into Zotero, and also how to use those digital tools to crystallize my ideas, and also using some note-taking tools to collect my knowledge. And then lastly, I will talk about how to integrate those tools in the actual paper writing. And throughout these talks, I will be talking about these many digital tools, and I have already collected and compiled a list of links. So if you scan this QR code, you can have access to the list of links. And if you have like dual screen, I hope you can keep that open on the other screen so that you can have access to it. And for audience on the Zoom, I'm going to try to see if I can share that in the chat with you. Okay. I think that one works. Okay, now you have it in the chat. All right. So let's move on. All right. So I'm going to use this task as an example. So assuming you're going to write a review paper on the topic of feline idiopathic cystitis. So how are we going to do it? First, of course, we start with Google because we don't know about this topic. Basic search is that you will put the keywords into the Google search box, right? And then you will get the results. And then we can see on the upper right corner, like how many results we're getting. So it's almost 70,000 results. But if you know like basic logic of Google search, for example, you know how to use and or, that can give you more results based on that. And then there are more advanced use of Google is you can specify file type. So you can put file type PDF, then all the results will be in the PDF. And actually you can use this method to find many more files than what you would imagine online. And then you can also specify site. So if I want to only look at the result in PubMed, then here are my results. They're all from PubMed. And you can also specify time that I only want the most updated results from Google, can put after 2023, January 1st. And then for the results that comes with a timestamp, you can see that these are all most recent results. So if you want to learn more about how to Google like a pro, I recommend you watching this YouTube video. You can learn a lot from it. So that's the basic stuff. And so now we can move on to Google Scholar. Everybody knows how to use Google Scholar. To make it a more convenient experience, you can do some settings under the search results to specify which bibliography manager you want to use. Previously, I used EndNote, but several months ago, I already migrated into Zotero. So if you use Zotero, you want to change the file to Refman. And you can also specify the library links. I will put Texas A&M University here. So once I did it, my Google search results, I would have the import to Refman button. So once I click on it, the result can be imported into my Zotero collection. And then I will also have link to the full text at TMU. The next one is PubMed. Of course, everybody knows how to use PubMed. The one I like to use is the advanced search. So if I click on that, I usually like to specify to search for title/abstract because I don't want a random turn in the discussion to be in my search results because that may not be the topic that I'm interested in. So for example, we will put cat or feline here, and then we'll put idiopathic cystitis, and we hit search. So this would be your PubMed search result page, right? But mine is slightly different. I have this bar, which shows me this paper is from a Q2 journal. The journal has an impact factor of 1.9. So far, this paper hasn't been cited yet. And then you will have this SciHub link that's absolutely evil, and you shouldn't click on that. So how do I get it? You use this extension called EasyPubMedicine. And once you install this extension on the PubMed result or even on a website, a random website, as long as it has enough information of the title of the paper, the list of the author, this bar will show up as well. Okay, so once we have this results, now we're going to talk about how to create an RSS subscription based on that. So you click on this button, and you can change the name of the RSS feed. So I can change that into FIC, and I hit create RSS, and I got the link. So I can copy the link and then move on to the RSS application that I use. The one I really like is Feedly. So I can go to Feedly. At the lower left corner, I have this button. If I click on it, I can paste the RSS link, and then it will pop up the name, how I name it. So it pop up as FIC right now. If I click on it, click on follow, then I will have this FIC tab in the RSS feed. So in Feedly, only thing I need to do is just to open up this application every day. So if there is a new publication that fits that search criteria, it will automatically pop up here. And you can not only use this for your search result, but you can also follow from the journal. So most journals provide this RSS subscription. So I did it. So in my Feedly, I have subscribed several journals related to veterinary pathology and internal medicine. So next, I was going to talk about how to integrate those search results into Zotero. So I migrated from Eno to Zotero several months ago because Eno is proprietary. Zotero is open source. It means it's free. Also, Zotero offers integration with plugins with different applications. Also, Zotero offers free upgrade. So this is the front page of Zotero. So we have now learned how to find the search results on PubMed, and now we are going to see how we are going to import those into Zotero. So in your search result page, if you click on Send To and click on Citation Manager, and you can select all results on this page or specific results that you selected. And once you hit Create File, it will create a file, a .mbib file. And you can import that .mbib file into your Zotero, and it will show up in your Zotero collection. And you can rename the folder to be FIC, so you know, okay, these are all the feline idiopathic cystitis papers that I found. And then we also talk about how to create a RSS feed from the PubMed search results. You can import those into Feedly. I already talked about that. But how about Zotero? So if you don't want to switch back and forth from two different applications, you can use Zotero as well. So you copy the same link, and then in your Zotero, there is a section called Feeds. You select on New Feeds from URL and paste the URL and name the title. So now you have the feed here. And these papers are not in your collection yet, but if you found one that looks really interesting, you can click and drag it over to your FIC folder, and that will be in your collection. So how about if I use Google or Google Scholar, how am I going to put them into Zotero? then you have to download this Zotero Connector Chrome extension. This is available on the Chrome. And then once you put in the keywords, for example, I search for Ichi, that's a researcher in Japan, dog microRNA, and these are my results. Traditionally, if I want to import those into Zotero, I have to click on them one by one. But now with the Zotero Connector, it will pop up another window and you just have to select which papers you want to download. And once you did that, it's in your Zotero automatically. And the other way is maybe when you browsing online, you randomly stumble upon the paper and you want to put that into Zotero. That's also pretty easy. You just have to right click, select Zotero Connector, and then select Save to Zotero. And then a window will pop up asking you, okay, which folder you want to save this in? Do you want to save this in the canine lymphoma AI folder, or you want to switch to AI in medicine? And you can do that. Next, I want to talk about another really quick, convenient web page. It's called Zoterobib. So in this website, this is a quick way for you, if you know the keyword of the paper, the author, the title, you can put it in, and then it will automatically create the bibliography for you. And if you don't like this format, you can change it to, okay, I don't like Frontiers in Veterinary Science. I can change to JAMA, or I can change it to other. There are more than 10,000 citation styles available on this web page. And this tool comes very handy when you're preparing for a presentation, because we know that we need to put the citation on our slide. So this is very convenient. And the other way of using it is when you're going through the paper revision, you got the response from the editor saying that, hey, please provide the page range for your reference 19. And you can just quickly put the information of reference 19 in the Zoterobib and got the information of page number and reply to the editor. So far, these search methods, I will call them as general search. However, if you have a more specific question, you need to use the targeted search. So one first tool I want to introduce is called ResearchRabbit. It is a free tool, and this is the front page of ResearchRabbit. What's really nice about this tool is that it has the import Zotero collection. So it integrates with Zotero. Once you click on it, log into your Zotero account, you will be able to select, okay, which folder I want to sync with ResearchRabbit. And if I click on that, then boom, I have all my papers in the FIC collection here already. And I can click on connection, so I can visualize what's the relationship between these papers. So now we can see that these papers consist of two big clouds. One is the upper one and the other is the lower one, and they don't necessarily have connection with each other. And the reason I want to use this tool is I want to find in my systemic review, have I missed other papers on this topic? So I can find new papers based on my existing collection. And the way to do it is to click on later work, and it pops up another map, which you also see some papers showing in blue color, means that these are the papers that are related, but they are not in your collection. So one way I like to do it is to click on timeline. Then I can see, okay, all these papers in blue color, they are new publications, but I have not included into my collection. So then I can click on this one, and then another window will pop up. I can read the title, I can read the abstract of this paper, and if I find it relevant to my literature review, then I can select Add To, and then boom, it will be added to my Zotero collection. So there is no hustle at all. I don't have to go to the page of the paper. I don't have to click on download PDF. It's all automatic, and now it shows up in my collection. And the other tool I want to introduce to you is called Perplexity. So Perplexity is a AI-powered search engine. And I have to tell you that recently in my daily life, I use Perplexity more common than using Google. So it's a very good tool, and it's just not for research, it's also for your daily life as well. So if you click on focus, you can select which one I want to focus on. If you just want to ask life-related question, there is no restriction. But if I want to focus on academic search results, I will click on academic. And the perk of using this AI-powered tool is that you can ask questions in natural language instead of just putting keywords. So the way of using this type of tool is I will put in the whole sentences and as complex as possible. So for this one, I'm going to ask, can nutrition management treat feline idiopathic cystitis? And then this is my search results. So I have title, I have the sources, so I can always click on them to verify the search results. And I have the Perplexity compiled answers. If I'm not sure about a specific sentence, I can click on the number and it pops up a window that links to the PubMed application. I can click on it. I can verify whether the statement is true or not. So Perplexity offers free membership for students in university, and Texas A&M is one of them. So if you create a Perplexity account with your TMU email, you got 1 year of free Perplexity Pro feature. So that is very good to use. And another one also is a AI-powered search engine is called Consensus. And this one is solely focused on research. So I'm going to do the same thing to demonstrate its function to you. I will ask the same question, can nutrition management treat feline idiopathic cystitis? And then I will have a brief summary based on the 8 papers it found. And I also have a consensus meter that tells me, okay, based on the 6 paper analyzed, all of them agreed with your statement. And so by doing this, sometimes you can find papers that disagree with your statement. So you can read those papers too to discover, okay, what are their arguments? What are the reasons? How was this statement supported? And then you can also turn on this co-pilot function, which will compile a longer paragraph for you, also with the numbers linked back to specific reference for you to verify the result. Okay, the next step I'm going to talk about, now I found the paper, I have all the paper in my Zotero collection, but how am I going to apply them into my work? So most of the time, if you're working on the literature review, you want to have this summary table list out the topic of the research, the animal, sample size, what are the methods that are used in these papers, the year of publication. So there are tools that can help you to generate those tables automatically. I'm going to introduce SciSpace and Elicit. They're basically identical, so just pick one that you like. So this is the front page of SciSpace. I'm going to do the same thing to search, can nutrition management treat feline idiopathic cystitis? And it will find papers for me. So it will compile the answer based on the top 5 papers it found. Also, if you scroll down the same page, you will have a table summarize the title of the paper, insights, too long, didn't read. If you click on this arrow, you can create your customized column. For example, I might want to create a column called commercial diet, and I will put instructions, list full name of the commercial diets involved in the study. If none, list N/A, and I hit create. And then once you hit that, you can see now there's a new column, and it did list out the commercial diets that are involved in the study. So this is a really good tool for you to quickly understand what's going on in these papers and as your first draft. And the reason why I want to introduce this tool is not just that it will search papers for you, but most importantly, it integrates with Zotero. So you can click on Zotero import and click on the FIC folder in your Zotero. And once you import it, they will be here. And then you can base on these papers to create new column to summarize the findings in these papers. But as you notice right now, you see my instruction is if yes, list yes. If no, list no. However, in my results for those papers without the involvement of commercial diet, they did not list no here. So AI can make a mistake and you also have to verify the results. And but once you want to create more columns, you will notice that the system will remind you need to upgrade to a paid membership. And there's also a very good function that you can export the paper and then insert it into your publication. However, you also need to upgrade in order to do that. And there's another similar tool called Elicit. The steps are basically the same and also integrates with Zotero. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to repeat the details of Elicit. Another tool I want to introduce is called NotebookLM. It's developed by Google. So if you search NotebookLM, it's right here. When you first start using it, it will request you to upload source. You can either upload Google document, Google Slides, even just a link to a website or a link to YouTube video, or you can do more traditional way. You upload PDF, text file, Markdown, or the audio recording. So once you upload those sources, those resources will be listed here. So right now, I uploaded several papers from my feline idiopathic cystitis collection. And then I can have interaction with the AI chatbot. I can ask, what is FIC? And then based on the papers I uploaded, the AI chatbot will answer my questions about what is FIC. And what's really nice about this tool is, first of all, it is free. Second of all, it will only answer questions based on the information you uploaded. So it will not be like ChatGPT to search information from random website and give you the wrong answer. And then based on those statements, you can also click on the numbers that brings back to where that statement came from in the PDF file. And then you can also see the citation information of that PDF you uploaded. And most recently, Google NotebookLM have a new function called Audio Overview. So I'm going to upload my own paper as an example. So if I upload this one into the notebook and then click on the notebook guide on the lower right corner, it pop up the audio overview window. I can click on Customized to give it a specific instruction. So basically, this audio overview is that it will create a dialogue-based podcast show hosted by 2 AI hosts. And if you want to have this show focus specifically on a specific aspect of this paper, you can put those customizations here. If you don't, it can also generate the podcast show automatically. So I'm going to show you how to sound like, and be aware it's all AI. There is no real human being involved.
Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive. Today we're tackling something that I think a lot of dog owners will be interested in. New research into kidney disease in dogs. We're looking at a 2024 article from the Journal of Veterinary Internal Medicine. It's called microRNA 126 in dogs with immune complex mediated glomerulonephritis.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
It is, haha. But don't let the title scare you away. This is cutting edge stuff with the potential to really change how vets diagnose those tricky kidney problems. Right now, vets often have to rely on biopsies to figure out exactly what kind of kidney disease a dog has. And as anyone who's had a dog go through that knows, it's not exactly a fun experience. This research is exploring whether a simple urine test could give vets the same information. That would be a huge game changer. Quicker diagnosis, less stress for our furry friends, and of course, faster treatment.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And I found a very, very cool application of this tool is to upload my own CV and have the AI host to create a podcast show talking about myself. Because I know that many junior faculty members as myself have imposter syndrome. Sometimes we don't think we are good enough. We don't have enough competence. We don't know if we are qualified to train residents. But I found this approach has a very strong therapeutic effect. So that's the lesson.
All right, so we're doing something a little different for this deep dive. We're going to be dissecting a CV.
Okay.
But this isn't just any CV.
Right.
It belongs to Dr. Candice Chu.
I've heard of her, yeah.
And trust me, this one's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It's pretty impressive.
I mean, just right off the bat, the sheer number of awards and keynote speaker invitations is just like, wow.
For sure, Dr. Chu is obviously doing something right.
Yeah, no kidding. But like, what I'm really curious about is the story behind all of this. you know?
And that's
Yeah, I have to stop it before I become over embarrassed. And because this audio overview function is so popular, so Google actually announced another function called Illuminate. It's specifically focused on turning research paper into podcast shows. But for now, it only supports research papers that got uploaded to our computer science preprint server. So fortunately, my ChatGPT paper has been uploaded to that server, so I can copy and paste the URL and it will create a podcast show based on my review paper. And you can also adjust the speed of the podcast, so I speed out a little bit.
This paper explores the potential of ChatGPT, a generative AI tool in veterinary medicine. It delves into its applications in clinical practice, education, and research. Let's start with the basics. What is ChatGPT and how does it work?
So it's basically like that. And then the next tool I want to talk about is a note-taking tool called Heptabase. So this is a front page of the Heptabase. Heptabase is based on a specific method of note-taking. It's called Zotero. It's a German word developed by a German scientist. Basically, it's a card box note-taking method. So this German scientist likes to take notes on cards and put different cards into different boxes. So this is a picture of his office at the end of his career. He collects hundreds of different boxes and then have those cards represent different ideas in those boxes. So the idea behind it is each card is a data or information. And once you collect enough number of them, you can connect them to form your own knowledge. And that brings you insights, later become wisdom, and then you can make an impact based on your knowledge. So this is the overview of Heptabase. You can see my cards are here. And then you can have the title for your box, or in Heptabase, they call it whiteboard. So this is my whiteboard. And what's really nice about it is this provides you a place where you can collect and organize all your highlights from those research papers. So here's the interface of Zotero. If I click on this paper, for example, this is my highlight. And now on my computer, I would open the Zotero and Heptabase side by side. And I can just click on the highlights on Zotero on the right-hand side and drag it over. And then right-click on this box to turn it into a new card. So now I have a card. And I can give it a title, for example, prevalence. And then notice that on this card, they are blue links that can link you back to the citation or to the PDF file. So if I click on this PDF, even without opening the Zotero window, my Zotero will pop up and it will lead me to the exact location where I got this highlight from. So that is very convenient. So I can do that for another highlight, give you another title, and then I can organize my cards. So I can select multiple cards, right-click, rename the card, for example, name it introduction, and I have more cards, name it dietary management, and I can draw arrows between them. So now you not only have those collected information, you also will be able to form knowledge because you know the connection, the relationship between them. And you can also share your whiteboard with your collaborator, with your research mentor. So just click on share and then share to web, and then you can have a link that can be sent to everybody so that you can work on the same project. And then also Heptabase, since it's a note-taking tool, sometimes at random time of the day, you want to jot down something. It also provides you the journal function. And because it also has a phone app, so on your phone, you can click on today's date and you can jot down some notes. And by the end of the day, you can go back to reorganize your thoughts and put them into your whiteboard. It also has this like highlight collection to collect your highlights from not just from Zotero, but from other places. For example, I use the Kobo ebook to read ebooks, and my highlights on the ebook can also be synced to Heptabase. And by doing that, you have to install a tool called Zotero to revise You can Google that to learn more about it. Lastly, of course, you want to put your work into paper. So Zotero also have this word processor. You can integrate it with Microsoft Word, or if you use Google Document, it works with that as well. So in the Google Word, just click on Add, Edit Citation, and then you can select which citation style you want to use. And then a bar will pop up. You just have to put in the keywords. For example, I put my last name in Chu, and I can click on my publication and it will be inserted into the paper that I'm writing. However, by doing that, you do need to move your hands from the keyboard onto the mouse and click that button, right? So I really don't like to move out my hand. So under the tools, you can customize keyboard. I select under the macros section here. You can click Zotero Add, Edit Citation, and then you can specify the shortcut, like my shortcut is Command-Shift-Z because I'm a Mac user. Then it's really convenient. You don't have to move your hands away from the keyboard while you're typing your paper. And then another good tool for a non-native English speaker like me is Grammarly. So once I install Grammarly for desktop, it's live everywhere. So whether you are typing up your email in Outlook or you're typing your paper in a Word document, it will shows up suggestions, and you can either click on accept or you can dismiss this suggestion. Lastly, I want to talk about ChatGPT. So in addition to the traditional use of ChatGPT, OpenAI now make customized GPT available. So you can click on Explore GPT. That brings you to their GPT store page. And then you can see that SciSpace here, Consensus is also here. I want to introduce a tool called Vet Journal Explainer. This is developed by my friend, Dr. Wu, who's a veterinary cardiologist in Taiwan. So in order to use this tool, you need to download a PDF file of your paper, and that's the only thing you need to do. So under the page of Vet Journal Explainer, if you click on the upload button, so that you can now see that the only thing I have here is the PDF document of that paper. And I can hit upload. Once I did that, it will automatically compile the information of the paper for you. So it will list out the title, the author, what's the type of paper, is a retrospective study, who are the participants, what's the methodology, identify the key problem, conclusion, limitation, clinical application, and even ask some insightful questions. And I tried that with human medicine paper as well. So when I download this one, it would do the same thing to list every information for me. So I really encourage you to go to the GPT store page and try to do some brainstorming and see what other tools can help you, not just in your research, but also in your daily life. Because one tool I really like to use is the calendar invite creator. So if I copy and paste information from the email and that email does not come with the automatic calendar invite, this GPT can create that for me and double click on it. It will be imported into my calendar. So I know, okay, at a specific time, I will go on to, I will attend this event. I can attend this Zoom talk. Okay, so lastly, I want to talk about ChatGPT in academic writing. And this is something that I did not mention yesterday. So this is new content. So far, since the release of ChatGPT, we have witnesses a lot of misuse of ChatGPT. One of the example is the use of ChatGPT resulting in retraction of this paper. And where can you find the evidence of that? That's actually in the first paragraph in the first sentence. Certainly, here's a possible introduction for your topic. Lithium metal batteries are promising candidates for blah, blah, blah. And the authors did not discover it, the reviewers did not discover it, and this paper got published and it got retracted. Another example is a retraction of this paper. The use of ChatGPT shows up in the conclusion, in the summary section. In summary, the management of bilateral iatrogenic I am very sorry, but I don't have access to real-time information or patient-specific data as I'm an AI language model. And another very famous example in biology, biomedical research, is this paper. You can see that there are more than 90,000 people viewed this paper already, although this paper got rejected. That's because it used AI-generated image of a mouse with gigantic testicle. And so you're not supposed to use AI-generated image in your publication. You're also not supposed to ask AI to write for you. And other people notice more nuanced misuse of ChatGPT. For example, the word delved got really popular after 2023 because the release of ChatGPT. And also there's another publication looking to several specific terms that are favorite terms of ChatGPT, including commendable, meticulous, intricate. So if I am a human writer, I might start to avoid using those terms in case somebody think I'm using ChatGPT to write my paper. But there is a Cornell scientist who was wrongly accused for using ChatGPT. The reviewers read her paper and saying, this is obviously ChatGPT. However, she didn't even use it. And this is her article published on the Nature Career column. So she was saying that, okay, from this moment on, I'm going to use GitHub to write my papers. So I have timestamp of every word that I put in, and I will not be wrongly accused of using ChatGPT. And I think reviewers will have this illusion is because they think they can identify ChatGPT work. However, in fact, there are several research papers looking into that. They found that although human reviewers correctly identify 68% of generated abstracts, they incorrectly identify 14% of original abstract as being generated. So can we develop a ChatGPT detector to fix that problem? There is a the research group looking into developing a ChatGPT detector, and they claim that they have achieved over 99% accuracy, specifically in the research area of chemistry. And this is a figure from their publication that compare their result to ZeroGPT and compared to the OpenAI classifier and claim that they have superior performance. However, they did not make this tool publicly accessible, so we don't have access to that. And I also personally don't trust ZeroGPT at all, because if you copy and paste the US Constitution, it will tell you that 99.44% of the Constitution is written by ChatGPT, which hopefully is not true. And OpenAI did have these AI classifier once. However, back in January 31st last year, they already mentioned that this AI classifier is no longer available because of the low rate of accuracy. So far I can tell you there's no way for any ChatGPT detector to tell you this is a work of ChatGPT instead of a human writer. However, studies found that AI can actually assist reviewers. So in this paper, they use automatic pipeline, use GPT-4 to provide comments on the full PDF of scientific papers. They base on 15 Nature family journals and also include a really famous machine learning conference. And they found that the point raised by GPT-4 and by human reviewers overlap about 30%. And that degree of overlap is comparable to the overlap between two different human reviewers. So ChatGPT can provide valuable comments to your paper. However, we are not allowed to use it because the Springer Nature is saying that you should not upload the paper to ChatGPT to ask for comments if you are a reviewer. And so far, if you use the AI tool in your publication, you are required to disclose it. So I list some of the top 20 veterinary journals. For Frontier, you have to mention an acknowledgement. For JVN and BMC, you need to mention it in the method section. For veterinary radiology and ultrasound, you need to mention an acknowledgement or method. And then, or sometimes they request you to write a specialized statement. And also, there are some journals that have not have any regulations yet. So overall, I want to share my stand on AI. First of all, I believe AI has become the new minimum standard, because if your involvement, if your work is not better than AI, then why do we need you? I just copy and paste it to ChatGPT and I get a very good answer already. So it's now our foundation. It's the minimum standard. And because of that, we now need to ensure everybody has equal access to AI tools. Now, AI tools is like computer and internet should be accessible to every student. And we, as educators, we need to level up our skills quickly. We need to learn how to use those tools so we can incorporate those tools in our teaching, so we can teach students how to be efficient, how to be the next generation researcher. And so because of that, I started to form this idea that I want to start this course in our college to teach about essential AI for veterinary students and researchers as well. And the content will probably cover like how to do literature review, note-taking, study, exam preparation, how to do presentation, and also some current application in veterinary industry. And also people will wonder that, okay, now you're having students to use all these AI tools, would they lose the ability to do critical thinking? However, I will argue that by interacting with the AI, by putting a question, ask follow-up question based on the response, and also try to figure out a way of asking question, how can you get the answer that you want? This process is critical thinking in action. So I don't think students will be incompetent because of the release of AI tool. They can only be more efficient and much better than we are. And lastly, I want to emphasize that never blindly trust AI. So AI cannot be an author. Your name is on the authorship list, so you should take 100% responsibility for the content created by the AI. And I will share that AI will not replace you, but the person using AI will, because they are more efficient and more competent. So overall, in this talk, I introduced how I streamline academic writing with AI and digital tools, share my ACCU workflow, start from the acquisition of those papers, whether you are using more general search or targeted search, and then put them into my Zotero collection. And I also share some tools where you can compile the summary table or having a conversation with the AI chatbot so you can learn more about the paper you uploaded, and also how to put them into your writing. And of course, there are other tools that I did not cover in my talk because I have limited time, but I want to list all these tools here. So at least you have seen, you have heard of them, and one day if you want to use them, you can apply them into your research. And I want to emphasize that there is one thing you can do today if you are inspired after listening to my talk. You can actually go to ChatGPT and ask this question. I'm a researcher with no background in programming. I'm interested in learning how to use generative AI tools like ChatGPT. Can you recommend some resources for beginners? So this is a very good start for you to start to interact with ChatGPT and learn more about it. And then next month in December, I will be sharing how I create this Vet ClinPath GPT AI tutor to help students to learn vet clinical pathology. And that will be as part of the teaching showcase. So if you scan this QR code right now, it will take you to the teaching showcase sign up page, and you can know when I would do this presentation and learn more about it. And maybe one day you can apply this tool into your own teaching as well. So I'll keep this slide here. I have the list of links available to you, and that's also available in the chat box of the Zoom. And I highlight those tools if you need to pay for those in the red color. But there are also other tools that you can pay. However, I think the free version is pretty good enough, so I would just keep them in blue color. So that's all for my presentation, and I'm happy to take any comments or any questions. Thank you.